Hey, good morning, and thanks for waking up with me. So, full disclosure, this is like the fifth or sixth time I've tried to do this video today. I've been trying to do these as one take wonders, and sometimes that's a little challenging. Mostly because I just keep losing of things I want to say and add things into the middle, and so I'm going to try it one more time here and see if this can't stick. So, I was thinking about, I posted a video last week about technology is here to stay, you might as well embrace it, was effectively what it was about. And that got me to thinking about a few things and a couple blogs that I've read lately. It seems that the more technology we have, the less interaction that it creates so often. Uh, it used to be that uh, if you went to play video games with somebody else, that you'd have your friends over and you play your video games. But now there's online gaming, and you don't have to interact with anybody. You play against some sort of avatar, and people are pretending to be somebody who they're not necessarily who they are. There's things like when you need a cab, you get onto an app and you probably contact Uber or Lyft, and you program in where you're at and where you want to go, and you don't even have to talk to the driver because they've already got all the information. And now they're developing cars and projecting that there's going to be a little extra noisy here today. Now they're developing cars for driverless Ubers, and so there won't even be a driver to talk to if you wanted to. It seems it's odd that we have cell phones in our pockets now, and yet a lot of our interaction is less than it used to be. So many people choose texting over actually calling and hearing the voice and getting that direct interaction and the voice inflection that you get by actually talking to someone, even if it's not face to face, but at least the voice to voice communication. There's other things like Pandora and Spotify. Now you can get nearly unlimited music, and set up a PlayStation play channel for the way that you want it, and they'll be recommending songs for you and all those sort of things. Used to be you had to go to the record store to buy music, and if you were at the record store, there's a good chance you'd meet somebody else who was interested in music and maybe similar to yours, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who found relationships through that, either friendships or possibly even something more meaningful than that, and that's kind of gone. We still have our Starbucks and we still have other things like that, but I see so many people there. Instead of sitting around the coffee shop and talking with other people, I see people tuned into their laptops or to their phone or something like that and just focused on a screen. I see people out for dinner, couples that aren't even talking to each other. They're both looking at their phones, and it's so widespread now that I was at a restaurant the other night and noticed that a rather elderly couple was doing the same thing. I thought that was a millennial thing, but it's not anymore. So it kind of concerns me that it feels that in many ways technology is replacing human interaction. I don't think direct human interaction is necessarily threatened, and it's not going to become extinct altogether. It's just that it seems that there's so much less of it, and I don't know that that's a good thing. I don't know that helps us learn interpersonal skills with people, and I don't think you have the same level of empathy for people if you don't meet them, if you don't get to know them, if you're just skating by, if you have a Facebook page where you have 1,500 friends, but the reality is you only really know 2 or 3 people outside your family. It's so easy for us to hide behind the technology and imagine and pretend that we have a life that's going on out there that we don't really enjoy, that we aren't really benefiting from. And yet there's technology that is helpful and can add to it. And it's one of my favorite apps is Meetup, where I can find people who are interested in things that I'm interested in and do similar activities, so that I don't have to go out and do them by myself and figure out how that's going to happen. Whether it's hiking or there was a maker group that I was part of for a while. There's people in investment clubs. There's quilters. There's knitting people. There's all sorts of activities on Meetup, and that's a good way to go. So, but can you imagine what it's going to be like? How much has changed in the last 10 years? So how much is it going to change in the next 10 years or the next 50, depending how old you are? This is the path we're on. So I think part of what I'm saying here is that not just technology, but let's not forget about the old school things. Maybe it's time to make sure that you maybe bring back a board game every now and then, or play cards with your friends or families, or have a potluck, or generate a book club if you're actually reading something besides a Kindle or reading a blog on your smartphone. But I'm kind of joking here in some respects today, but I'm really not. I think it's something that is worthy of taking pause and thinking about. So uh, so I'm going to make it a little short today because I've got to get going again. But I wanted you to think about it, and I'll probably touch back on this subject a little bit more sometime in the next few weeks. I really appreciate you tuning in and checking in with me. I hope you're hitting the subscribe button. I promise you I'll keep doing increasingly more homework, and I'll try and keep these brief so it only takes you a few minutes to check in and have a little bit to think about for the day. And this is helpful for me, but hopefully I'm creating a conversation that's helpful for you as well. That's part of why I'm doing this. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell there so it'll notify you when the videos actually post. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent about that. We'll get that done too, and we'll see what we can do with making this something that you really want to do. And please, by all means, leave your comments. If there's something that you'd like to talk about or bring up, or a point of view that you'd like to share, I'd be more than happy. I ran into a friend of mine just a day or two ago, and she brought up some things that I had not considered at all, which is kind of the whole point here. So I've asked her to set for an interview. Maybe we'll be able to do something like that, and a few other things. So so I'm very sincere when I say if you've got some thoughts, you got some things, maybe something we collaborate with on one of the presentations, and we'll get you to sit down and we'll run some things past each other and video the whole thing and then make it happen. All right, so I got a gun. You guys have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.